And we are live. Killer Cam,
What's good? What's good?
how's it going, sir?
I can't complain, man. Can't complain. How you been?
Man, I can't complain. I should, but it won't do any good. Ooh, did I just rhyme? I do that all the time. Hang on. Hey, well, welcome to another episode of Mindfully Misunderstood Live Chat. We call this Trending Topic Tuesdays. I am your host, Sir Charles the God.
And I'm Cam to official.
Okay, and we in the building. Thank you. We are in the building. Listen, I know these two subjects have been beaten, but why not beat a dead horse? Because we didn't offer our perspectives, and I think as we have these discussions, we need to broadcast them to the public because you and I both made some very noteworthy points, if you will, as it pertains to our perspectives on Mr. Kyrie Irving and Mr. Takeoff in his untimely passing. So, first and foremost, introduction, I'd like to thank you all for supporting the stream, supporting the work. Thank you guys for supporting the Mindfully Misunderstood YouTube channel. We appreciate you. We appreciate you guys. Get the subs up. Please subscribe if you have not. Please hit that like button on the way in, and please comment. Oh, hit that bell notification so you can be notified. So when we drop new content, you'll know. All right. So
Yes,
first
sir.
and foremost, how's your week been?
I will say my week has been a trying week for me.
Okay. Yeah.
It has been a very trying week for me.
Yeah.
I feel like the devil is definitely testing my patience.
Oh wow. Okay. All right. Well, in what way?
I think
We're gonna have to
I
get
mean
into it.
to elaborate just a little bit, as you know, we have this conversation all the time, but you have those certain people that you work with that like to, that basically like to worry about you more than they worry about themselves. And I'm a firm believer in, you know, I'm a firm believer in minding your own damn business,
Mm-hmm.
right? So, um, instead of me getting into a situation, I'd rather do one or two things: remove the person that's causing the problem, or remove myself.
Okay.
So come Monday, that's probably what I'll be doing, is removing myself,
Mm-hmm.
because yeah, I don't want to see nobody get hurt, um, and I definitely don't want to cause more of an uproar by making someone else's job harder. So, you know, the best equation is to just see my way out.
I feel you. Hey, you know what they say? Sometimes what they say. My sister say all the time. Minding your own business is good for your teeth. It's
You
good
feel
for your
me?
health, and it's good for your teeth.
Hmm.
Anyhow, yeah, man, my week has been so far. It's I had a rough day on Monday, but today was a lot better. I don't know, man. I seem to have the glow. I had Bruce Leroy. I'm like Bruce Leroy out here with the glow. So, really quickly, I am going to play a little bit of this video. And what should we discuss first? Kyrie
uh,
Irving?
nah, we could definitely do the takeoff.
Okay.
Because I got points on both. So
Okay. All right. So I'm gonna jump into a video from Mr. Whack 100. Are you familiar with him?
I am.
Okay. Well, I'm not terribly familiar with him, but I have heard his name a lot in these YouTube and social media streets. So I've listened to this video actually this morning, and I thought he made some interesting points. As we all may know that Mr. Takeoff's funeral is scheduled for Friday,
Right.
and the thing about it is, considering that there's an issue between the Migos and the Mob Ties camp, which is actually Jay Prince's camp, and all of those people who are affiliated with that, Jay Prince Jr., Jazz Prince, and the likes. So, nevertheless, Jay Prince actually claimed that Quavo and the Migos are he considered them his nephews. Now, with that being said, that would make Jazz Prince and Jay Prince Jr. cousins with the Migos, but unfortunately, it doesn't seem like they have that kind of familiarity with each other. Because if you're family, then you couldn't walk past the body of a person that just got dropped if you really love them. So now there's some discussion about whether Jay Prince and the Mob Ties camp should show up to the funeral. So that's where this video takes place. I'll share my screen and we can discuss as we progress through the video.
All right.
I ain't gonna lie, I done been to a couple funerals. I know damn well I wasn't supposed to be at. You know, perception is the perception. It is what it is, right? But the fact that he walked past that body,
I'm telling
is just, if I was him, personally, knowing it's high profile, we ain't going through that.
hell no.
Because we got to go through there one way, and even coming that way is gonna look disrespectful.
Yeah, it's
You know what I'm
like
saying?
a situation.
Yeah, like, and then if the daddy just show up without him or the other one, it look crazy.
Now him and Jazz might go. The Junior,
Bro, but see, if you do that, you kind of saying something.
Yeah, it's either all or nothing, man.
It's either all or nothing.
Yeah.
We also know that's only because of that footage came out. If that without that footage, it probably would have been cool.
hey,
So now, if nobody shows up, how the fuck do that look?
not
Looks
good.
like it already look.
Exactly.
Oh, shit changed. That's it. Exactly how it look right now.
Bro, them boys walking straight into the goddamn.
Now, question really quickly. What are your thoughts if Jay Prince and the Mob Ties camp claim to have this love for Migos, yet things happen the way they happen? Do you think it's a good idea for them to go in person and pay their respects to?
Me personally, I think it's a lose-lose situation. I think if he addressed it when the video came out about why he did what he did, or if he was, if he was just giving, like, say, if he was just giving them the space to grieve or whatever, or if he was still in shock or whatever the case is, I think he should. I think he probably should have addressed it, especially if it's family. But I mean, we don't know if he's having that conversation behind closed doors, or what I'm saying, what have you. But me personally, I think it's a lose-lose situation, because I feel like if you go to the funeral, from us on the outside looking in, that kind of it kind of sends a certain type of message. But if you don't go, that also sends a certain type of message. So I think you kind of fucked whichever tunnel you go through.
Well, definitely, if they show up, because of the love that the Migos have, that Atlanta has for the Migos, if they show up, they better be heavily, heavily guarded.
Yeah, for sure.
Which is the message that will be sent. You're not showing up to Atlanta regular, because somebody's gonna want to touch you. You got a lot of nuts out there that quite frankly have nothing to lose, everything to prove, and would love to even put their name on the map, even to the extent of losing their own lives. They probably wouldn't even care. But they would definitely have to go heavily armed. Let's take a little bit. Let's watch a little bit more of this, or we'll listen to a little bit more of this.
Yeah, they gonna start a riot in that bitch trying to attack his ass.
You in Atlanta, bro. It's gonna be a shit all like them Atlanta niggas gonna cap that nigga, boy.
I know I'm going to that.
What you mean they mob ties? Man? You got
At
to
least,
worry about.
I don't think they should.
What you talking
Y'all think niggas can't get touched? Hold on, y'all think niggas can't get touched though?
Anybody can get touched.
Without nothing
I'm saying,
official,
niggas,
bro.
I thought
They should not show up. Without
it's
nothing
mob
official.
ties.
See, I wouldn't fuck. I bet you Drake gonna yell my ties to me.
Man, if that nigga
on
the album,
you know how many little cams they got in Atlanta.
I'm like some official news dropping of what the fuck really happened. Some forensics evidence or some shit. They gotta have something to fight.
How many Timmys they got in Atlanta?
Let's fast forward this a little bit.
shit. No, either all or none, nigga. Either all. That's just the way I feel about it. You know what I'm saying? Either all or none, nigga. They show up without a motherfucker, it's looking crazy. And then now, nigga, look, it don't take long to man. Is that nigga really here without this?
So basically, what they were discussing right there is they're saying that Jay Prince Sr. had nothing to do with the conflict.
Right.
However, we know that considering his sons were there and what the video showed, is Jay Prince safe to go by himself? If he goes by himself, it sends a message. If he doesn't go, it's very tricky. So what do you think the solution is? Because you got to do something. So what do you think? What do you think, at Mr. Jay Prince Sr.? If you were Jay Prince Sr., what would you do?
If I'm Jay Prince Sr., I'm definitely, for me personally, I'm not. I mean, I'm going to the family firsthand and seeing, you know what I'm saying, like where we stand. I have to address the family first and foremost before anything, because a lot of times we meet violence with violence, and not to say that's not warranted, right? It's not to say that it's not warranted, but at the same time, we get in certain situations like this one where a life is lost and it could have been prevented if we, you know what I'm saying? I think it goes back to, you know what I'm saying? And I hate going back to this, but at the same time, it's like, it really does speak to me. Myron Golden explains, like, when we go back and ask, do we want our kids to be, or do you want your kid to be responsible? Do you want that kid to have a sense of responsibility? And he breaks down that word of responsibility to respond with ability, right? Mm-hmm. And a lot of us as grown folk now, we don't know how to respond with ability. We only know how to respond off of the emotion that we feel at that moment, versus taking a second and letting something process. I mean, at least that's where I am right now. Even with me taking constructive criticism, I may not like it in that moment, but I'm like, yo, let me really think about, you know what I'm saying, what my bro just told me or what my wife just told me, and let me process it first. And that way I could come back and be like, nah, you was right.
Mhm.
Or, you know what I'm saying, well, maybe I could have done this a little bit better versus just, you know what I'm saying, reacting off of the emotion that I feel in that moment.
Right, right. You know, you make a good point. Like and I've been hearing this story quite a bit. You make a good point that Jay Prince Sr. should be addressing the family or should have addressed the family right away. I think even I assumed that there was no talking going on. And you're right. They may have had some discussion behind the scenes that we don't know about. I'd be interested in knowing what that conversation looks like. But
For sure.
yeah, because what could you say? Now, listen, my cousin told me something today that I don't know if it's true, but he said that Jay Prince Jr.'s bodyguard grabbed Takeoff, put him in a headlock, and kind of shot him in the head point blank. Have you heard that? My cousin be
I have
capping.
not.
My cousin be capping.
I have not.
Yeah, my cousin misinformed sometimes, but you know, I haven't heard that version.
What I heard and read circulating was that he got shot in the head by his own camp. Now, that's just what I heard and what I read. I don't know if that's true or not. But either way, I mean, we go back to that incident. I think at some point in time we all grew up learning how to play dice, right? We understand that things like that could get a little heated, but it should never get to a point where, you know what I'm saying, we out here drawing arms.
Facts.
You know
Facts.
what I'm saying?
Especially if we're rich. We've escaped
Yeah,
the
that's
hood,
just, you
essentially.
feel me? To me, that's just silliness. Especially, I mean, if I'm a millionaire, you know what I'm saying, and we playing dice, I'm not really, you know, me personally, I feel like you shouldn't be. It should never get to a point where you both are getting angry enough to where y'all feel like y'all want to hurt each other. Especially because, you know what I'm saying, we as a community of blacks, like we are always the first to go straight to violence. And that's like that to me, it's like we gotta stop wanting to like kill each other and reunite and be one. Cause this shit that's happening now, think of it on a smaller scale where you don't even get to hear about it. You know what I'm saying? Like I work in the area right now. Like 3 weeks ago, there was a shooting right down the street from, you know what I'm saying, my work box, and they killed a 9-year-old and a 16-year-old trying to hit one of the dudes that was running away from them. You know what I'm saying? Like shit like that happens. You know what I'm saying? Think about how many times that happened and that never makes the news.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like we have to want better for ourselves first and foremost, and we have to know how to have the conversation without it being like, well, my struggle is better than yours, or my struggle is worse than yours. Like, nigga, we all struggle in some way, shape, or form. We all go through life at some point in time where like we have resistance. How we deal with that is how we are judged as a person, right? So it's like we all got demons. We all have trauma. We have to work together to basically focus on those traumas and heal those traumas, and then we can move forward with whatever else we got to do. But it starts within our community first, because I mean, I ain't ashamed to say it. When niggas get money, we the first ones to go back and go shit on each other. You know what I'm saying? Instead of us fucking pulling people up with us that could actually benefit you in a positive light, where it's like, if I'm making money and I'm not the only rich motherfucker in my circle, I'm helping other people get into my circle that can actually help me make money, versus it just being me and I'm going back to the hood to show off shit that niggas really don't care about, that niggas will actually kill me for. It's like, bro, we would be so much better off.
Yeah. Facts. Now, hold on. Let me play a little bit more of this before we move on to the next thing. Hold on.
Yeah, looking like instantly.
Fuck that.
Walking across the parking lot.
The plot happened quick.
Fuck out of this.
Matter of fact, if they did, cuz tell me to keep the car running.
Everything better be bulletproof.
You better have a National Guard.
Or he gonna call for mama.
Hey, bro.
Don't let a nigga put a nigga to sleep. Watch.
Putting aside.
Team money, take it back, tell him, big dog.
They gonna have him screaming for mama.
You think he gonna have to check in with QCP though? Type shit.
Don't
You can believe the call already.
That call already happened a week ago.
Yeah.
Talking about before
your funeral.
And this is some real shit. And it's gonna be a thing to see.
Why that nigga pull up shit, though?
Look, especially
Chicago.
Your ass up ASAP.
Hold on.
You already know what's gonna happen.
Especially Chicago.
Your ass up ASAP. Right. You think you finna come up here, nigga unit. Right.
I'm curious to see how this.
I'm very curious to see this.
It's too much attention right now. Like,
So hold on.
like you putting yourself in a situation where you gotta move looking super scary. Because when you go around some niggas extreme with a bunch of shit that don't look right, they gonna be looking at you.
Motherfucking
You ain't even gotta get
Like if the only fault he is at is that it was his event, but if he was, then that's different too.
You know all that unfollowing shit happening, all that.
Mm-hmm.
Drake, you know that shit, man. That shit about me personally.
So basically, they go on to talk about what it would look like for Jay Prince and or his sons to Sir Hale, what's up, brother? To attend the funeral. And personally, I don't think it's a good idea. I would say that I would err on the side of caution if I was Jay Prince. I even if I did talk to the family, folks don't have to understand that tensions are too high for me to pull up. And, because when people are hurt, it's the same thing. Hurt people. And, they meant those guys mean a lot to Atlanta. And like I said, you got a lot of nuts out there who are willing to throw their lives away just to prove a point. And I just don't think it's safe for Jay Prince or anyone from the mob ties camp to attend the funeral. But, it remains to be seen. We'll see what happens on Friday. It's going to be at the the State Farm Arena or something like that. Yeah, so it's gonna be a real big deal. I think it's State Farm, one of them huge stadiums. So in any case, uh, the other thing is this, Mr. Kyrie Irving.
Mm.
Uh, you know, we unless you've been under a rock, we definitely know what's going on with him. But there are a lot of there's some polarizing views on this subject, and me, I don't know. Maybe I should be a Republican or something. But because dude, I've been watching Dr. Umar Johnson's post, and with the thing that's going on with LeBron, LeBron stance on it. I think LeBron came out with a video today that that he was with some Jewish people, and
oh yeah, I saw that. I saw that
yeah,
video.
yeah,
Where
and
he was holding the
roasted,
rabbi's hand or something.
yeah, and people roasted him for that. Let me I'm gonna post this in the chat in case anyone wants to pull up. Boom. Okay. If anyone wants to pull up and discuss what's on your mind, feel free to chime in. Now, I'm gonna play a little bit of video from Shannon Sharp and his co-host Skip. And all right.
Well, Skip, I think because when the Brooklyn Nets yesterday, let's go back. Skip, you and I discussed this yesterday, and Jen read that the Nets were willing to be fined by not making Kyrie available for media availability.
Yes. Sean Marks said it.
Yes.
He told the media he will not be available post-game, and that's against the NBA rules. Right. But he said, I don't want to create more of a fuss.
And I said the reason why, Skip, I said, now, when they start asking Kyrie
hold
questions,
on.
he's going to double down.
I got it.
And well, Skip, I
all right, hold on. Whole time I thought I was sharing that. All right, here we go. Boom, boom, boom. All right, here we go. Bam.
Because when the Brooklyn Nets yesterday, let's go back. Skip, you and I discussed this yesterday, and Jen read that the Nets were willing to be fined by not making Kyrie available for correct. Media availability.
Yes. Sean Marks said it.
Yes.
He told the media he will not be available post-game, and that's against the NBA rules. Right. But he said, I don't want to create more of a fuss.
And I said the reason why, Skip, I said, now, when they start asking Kyrie questions, he's going to double down.
I got it.
And he didn't, after practice, what did he do? He doubled down.
He did.
And I'm listening to, I'm like, bruh. And then Adam Silver came out shortly before that and says, I didn't hear I'm sorry. Yep. When I said yesterday, I said, Skip, I'm looking at his statement. Where's the I'm sorry? No, I'm sorry. The Brooklyn Nets says, whoa, we've had enough. Say, we've given you an opportunity to say I'm sorry and to unequivocally disavow anti-Semitism, and you refuse to. So we're going to suspend you for a minimum of 5 games. Skip, I think for the first time.
Now, first and foremost, Cam, have you seen the documentary that that Kyrie had shared?
I have not, but I do plan on watching it.
Yeah,
it's 3 hours and 28 minutes.
And I just
I actually do plan on watching it. I'm not. I think this subject for me is kind of. I feel like it's touchy because it's hard for me to be. It's hard for me to be neutral in this situation because I feel like we already and I'm first and foremost I want to say I'm not siding with what Kyrie did. Him just posting the documentary and not giving a title or a reason why he did it. He just posted it and just left it. I didn't agree with that. I think he should have elaborated on what it was, how it affected him, and just, you know what I'm saying, explaining it in general. But the second half of that is I think about the athletes that surround the NFL. Mostly, well, I won't even say the NFL. I'll just stick to basketball. The basketball NBA league is 80% of young black men. So it's really hard for me to sit here and like listen to people scrutinize a certain individual for their point of view and basically batter him into apologizing when, you know, I feel like they don't, and I don't want to like single out any group of people, right? But I feel like, you know, we've never had to like basically have something like this happen to us and like sit there and batter someone into basically saying, hey, I'm sorry. Like tell them to tell the black community that what I said was offensive and that I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So I feel like this isn't any different. Now I get that, you know what I'm saying, he's coming for a specific, or they feel like he's coming for a specific community, but I feel like the argument of, you know, I feel like it's it's kind of like the same thing of basically saying, well, my struggle was worse than your struggle, right? And we'll never get anywhere with that conversation.
Facts.
Because at the end of the day, like now, I feel like no struggle is greater than another, but at the same token, and a lot of people might give me backlash for this, but I feel like nobody, well, the first people that actually had the worst struggle, in my opinion, was Native Americans. Because and we have an actual holiday, which is Thanksgiving, if anybody didn't know that, but it's basically a holiday surrounding Americans taking the land from Native Americans. So it's like that's something that we celebrate. Killing off, you know, villages is something that we celebrate, right? And
Columbus Day.
And Columbus Day. You feel me? So it's like for you to be able to say, oh well, that's okay because that happened, you know what I'm saying, however many years ago. Oh, well, you still heard about that? Slavery happened 450 years ago. And it's like that doesn't make it any less hurtful because we still make movies about it. There's still documentaries, there are still movies that are being made about it. That history is history. You can't change that. Right? So it doesn't make it any less offensive. I think that we've come to such a culture where it's like anything that you say, like you breathing too hard is hurtful. You feel me?
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't know. This particular incident with Kyrie, it kind of gets under my skin because it reminds me of how ununited we are as a black community. And it's like, if we were to cancel the NBA, the NFL, anything that we as a community, as black people really support, then motherfuckers would take us a lot more serious. You know what I'm saying? Us boycotting the NBA, I guarantee you they'll start changing up the way that they act or the way that they start treating us because they know that the black community is where your money come from.
Now, let me ask you this, because I'm not a proponent of blind unity or I don't know what the term is.
Neither am I.
Yeah, it's like I don't side with you just because you're black. At the end of the day, there's right and there's wrong. So now let me ask you: are you implying that more black people should support Kyrie's actions, or
I'm not saying that you should support his actions. I'm just saying from an educational standpoint, where from what he's been very vocal about, like what he's been reading, what he's been learning, and even I watched this whole interview, and a lot of people are saying that, Kyrie's basic, like the way that he is presenting himself, like he's better than everyone, like what he's reading, how he presents himself, like he's the smartest person in the room. That's just how he is. And I don't know, what I'm saying, because I'm not, I'm not in the NBA or whatever, but I feel like there's still a conversation that needs to be had, even if you don't understand. You still need to come to like a common ground. I'm not saying that you need to go and support Kyrie, but he posted it for a reason. He felt like it needed to be seen as public information. So, I mean, even if it is, what did they say? It's like anti-Semitic shit in there. You know what I'm saying? Like, regardless, it's still educating yourself. You don't have to agree with everything that happens, you know what I'm saying, in the documentary. You may not agree with that at all. But the fact is you still gave it a chance, and you wanted to learn about it.
So here's the thing about it. First of all, I think I might be ahead of myself. I feel like I might be ahead of myself a little bit because I haven't actually watched the documentary. But in this particular interview that I have on the screen here, they actually show, they talked about some of what the documentary was about or is about. And essentially, I wish I wrote down the time so I could go straight to it and we could talk about it. But essentially what they're talking about is blacks discounting the experience of the Jews as it pertains to the Holocaust, and even saying that the Holocaust did not happen. You know what I find? It kind of reminds me that you know how black folks always talk about, well, I'm from the South Side, I'm from the West Side, I'm from the gutter, and it's kind of like, okay, so that experience supposedly makes you a tougher person because you had it the roughest, right? And it kind of puts me in the mind of those conversations. It's like, I'm better than you because I struggled more. And honestly, I really don't see other races or cultures engaging in those conversations, because what that does is it negates or actually diminishes. It tries to diminish the other person's experience, and it's almost like struggle. Like my struggle made me better than you. I guess I sound like a broken record, but
your struggle is better than mine.
Yeah, and so the thing about it, though, I think that was very egregious. If you're going to promote a documentary that really says that, I think that was an error on Mr. Irving's part. Now, I do believe in freedom of speech, and essentially, for the most part, largely in America, we do have freedom of speech. But what we don't have is freedom from consequences, right? And I guarantee you, this is my position. I guarantee you, if let's just say black folks had this type of power, to whereas we can shake things up worldwide. If someone made a statement, especially someone of a position of power and influence status, if they make a statement disparaging the black experience anywhere on the globe, we would make it known that we didn't appreciate that, especially as it pertains to if something is harmful to the brand, because let's just face it, many of these people are business people, and if it's harmful to the brand, they're gonna disassociate themselves. And so that's one thing that we need to get clear. You do have freedom of speech. You're not free from consequences. And I don't know. I really want to watch this documentary. I am going to watch it. Actually clicked on it. So listen, I'm a thrifty guy. You know this, Cam. I'm a very thrifty guy. And when I seen that they were charging to watch the damn documentary, I was like, yeah, I'm a bad. Look, so I'm calling around trying to see if I can get the plug on the free. How can I watch this for the free? Because I ain't paying. Yeah. I think it was like, I don't know, $8.50 or something. They would charge. I don't know what the price is. I don't want to pay it to watch it. Now, if somebody could drop a free link where we can watch this video for free, I'll buy
it and you can watch
see,
it.
Cam, you're balling, man. You're balling. But that being said, listen, I want to play a little bit more of this video, and then we'll go on to a part of Kyrie's interview that I found to be very interesting. Hold on.
Before you play that,
okay,
I just wanna say, really, when you talk about the freedom or free from consequences, how many people have you seen personally that have said something about another group of people that they serve the type of consequences that they're making an example out of Kyrie, or that they've made an example out of Kanye, or any other celebrity that you could really think of? Like, what consequences have you seen that they actually, had to actually endure?
Well, one of the most memorable consequences that listen, I'm probably the least qualified to speak on some of these subjects because I don't watch sports. All right. Although I got a Chicago Blackhawks hat on, I don't really watch sports. I know very little about sports. However, that Donald Sterling, when he was caught using the N-word and talk, nigga this, nigga that, whatever he did, and essentially got banned from the NBA for life and was forced to sell his team. That was the wildest thing I've seen. That was on behalf of black folks. Now, here's the thing, though. Just like we talked about earlier, if I'm being bullied, but I won't even make, and I won't even make, how shall I say? If I'm being bullied and I won't even make attempts to take up for myself, how long do I continue to just just look for someone else to take care of me or protect me? Here's the thing.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. Unfortunately, talking about black folks in disparaging ways doesn't hurt many brands. It doesn't, because we're not in position of power enough to make enough noise or influence that situation to whereas we can remove people or we can shut them down. Yeah. And I think largely is because our culture is divided. We got, and this goes back to, we got so much in-house cleaning up to do. We got so much in-house cleaning up to do that we got to address the inside of the house first before we can even address the people on the outside. Yeah. And and I get it. You know, essentially, somebody might use the analogy. Well, let's just say in my household, my real house, if we're fighting inside the house and it's divided, that doesn't give anybody the right to come and pick on one of us. You are correct. However, there have to be some other protections, and who's gonna, if we're divided and someone come picks on us and we're not even unified enough to take care of that problem, then I mean, how long do we keep looking for someone else to do it?
Yeah.
That's our job. That's our job. And I think first and foremost, I keep talking about this. Economics is going to take individuals being smarter with their money, then families being smarter with our money, then communities being smarter with our money. And I don't care what anybody says, money is power. Money is power, and we squander our power on bullshit. So, I mean, that's just my position. I think everything starts with family and economics, and we have to be cohesive, unified, and we have to be smarter with our finances. That's my position on it. So, did you want to say something before I jump into this video?
No, you can go ahead.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna try to find that part when. Hold on.
Glad. I'm so happy that he came to his senses, or someone around him that had better judgment says, Kyrie, this is the right thing to do. I'm hopeful that Kyrie have learned his lesson. The suspension is only 5 games, and he comes back and he plays basketball like he's been playing the first. Hadn't equated to win, Skip, but he's been playing phenomenal basketball.
Like on one end of the floor, he does.
So, Skip, I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful.
I think it's Skip.
He ticked off a lot of people. Skip, when Adam Silver released a statement, says, I will be. Skip, it ain't.
Hold on.
The ADL says of a press conference, it's clear that Kyrie posts things all the time. Yeah. Kyrie, those people don't have millions and millions of dollars shoe deals from Nike. Yeah. Those people don't have $40 million contracts from the Brooklyn Nets. Yeah. Those people don't.
So he just made the point of how Kyrie basically used his reasoning, saying that, you know, people post things all the time. But there again, though, most of us in America don't have business deals, multi-million-dollar business deals with groups of people who can actually shut us down if they don't like what we post.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Have the influence that you have. That's why you've been given this. So it's your duty not to abuse that. Mm-hmm. Hopefully, Kyrie has learned. We can move on from this. But I have my doubts about Kyrie.
Okay, are you 100% buying his apology? Kyrie is sending, every time he opens his mouth, to actually back up what he's trying to show you. I'm smarter than the world. I'm about to change the world because I'm a beacon of light and wisdom, right? Okay, now let's go back to your first point. John March, the GM, said the other day in the post Steve Nash firing press conference that no, we will not make Kyrie available. Correct. Well, that's a finable offense by the NBA, but he just said, I don't want to create more of a fuss.
They tried to protect him.
I don't want to put him in harm's way again because he'll just triple down and quadruple down, and it will get worse and worse and worse. And then out of the blue, they present Kyrie to the media after practice yesterday. I'm going to guess, I'm going to assume that it was a fire test, that they had sat him down and they had talked to him about you cannot. And they had said, we're going to let you speak to the media, and it's time for. So they presented him to the media, and I think he had been basically ordered to apologize, or else. It was like an or else media. It's a fire test.
Yeah.
Okay, have you learned your lesson, quote unquote? Well, neither of us think you ever will quite, but this could have been a big start. Right. But you're going to have to do it extemporaneously in a believes with all his heart and soul that he's smarter than those.
You know who he is?
I know who I am.
Anyhow.
What? I got double talk.
Yeah. So anyhow, I should have had that time written down. Essentially, what they talk about is him him not apologizing. He actually used a lot of other jargon prior to. I think he has apologized as of right now. But again, though, there's a behavioral scientist by the name of, I think it's P.F. Skinner, and he's quoted as saying, behavior is controlled by its consequences, right? And so at the end of the day, if there are no consequences, then people will just run amok. And I'm not saying, hey, listen, if you feel in your heart of hearts that you are right moving forward with whatever you do, whatever post you post, whatever comes out of your mouth, whatever you type, hey, by all means, be willing to stand on that. And whatever comes with that, such as Kanye losing billions overnight, seemingly, stand on that.
I think he. I mean, and I don't know if I was just watching a different interview, but I think Kyrie stood on everything that he said. I mean, me personally, I didn't hear an apology. I mean, I don't think he was going to apologize, to be honest, because he felt like that was something that was intentional. He wanted to put that out there. He wasn't going to apologize for it because he felt like that was something that he wanted to do.
Oh, one more point. He said that he said that I didn't make the documentary.
Mm-hmm.
And so he used that as a reason why in his mind, people shouldn't be mad at him or shouldn't have a problem with him sharing. And then in that interview that I just cut off, they were talking about, well, there's the Adolf Hitler manifesto, right? That was publicized. And if someone tweets a link to it and shares it, I mean, essentially, I think this manifesto was talking about how he felt like the Germans were superior to the Jews and why they were attempting to exterminate them, if you will. And so now, if you share a link to that, then essentially it looks like you're supporting it if you don't add any context to it. But now we all know that people would go crazy but you didn't write it. If you share someone else's material for others to read or listen to, I don't know if it matters that you didn't write it. You're sharing it as if like, hey, look at this.
Yeah.
It's kind of like you co-signing it. And that being said, listen, I trust that Kyrie's intentions probably were good. However, when you hurt someone and they tell you that hurt, I don't know if it's the human thing to do to say, you know what, but it didn't hurt that bad, or I didn't mean it, so I'm not going to apologize. You hurt me. You know what I mean? Like how can you tell me I wasn't hurt? I don't know. That's just, you know what I mean? Especially, I think, listen, there will never be a all black, all Jew, all white, all Mexican, all Asian world. We all have to coexist to some degree. And so that coexisting, what that looks like, in my opinion, is, yes, be true to who you are, but you don't have to trample on someone else's feelings or history to be who you are.
I totally agree with that.
Yeah. So we're gonna. Oh, go ahead.
Man, it's really hard. I ain't gonna lie, and I'm probably gonna get some backlash for this, but I feel like it's really hard for me to feel sorry for people when, you know what I'm saying? I feel like we go through so much already. You know what I'm saying? And that's not even to say, like, for the chosen of us that are in the 1% of people that are in these rooms with these individuals, like, we're just by the color of our skin, bro, we're deemed demons. It don't have nothing to do with how we are as a people. At the end of the day, You know what I'm saying? A group of people just see you as a nigga. That's all it doesn't matter how smart you are. It doesn't matter how good you can dress or how well spoken. You just seen as a nigga.
Mm-hmm. All right. I mean, I get it. I get it. But so hey, and that's the beautiful thing about I guess humanity, in my opinion, is that we can be different. We can have differences of opinion. And you know, the thing about it is we can actually offend each other if we want to. That's fine. We can offend each other if we want to. But
Yeah,
now,
no, I'm not here to offend nobody. I just feel like, you know, I feel like where we are right now with how cancel culture is, I just feel like, you know, we're at a point where, like I said, if you breathe too hard, man, it's automatic no.
mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And from our point of view, we taught, oh, it ain't that bad. You got thick skin. So I feel like, hey, if we gotta endure it, nigga, so do you.
All right. Let me play a little bit of this Kyrie's interview when he actually speaks, and then we'll wrap up.
Hindsight, are you sorry for the hurt that your post caused people?
I'll take my responsibility for posting that. Some things that were questionable in there, untrue. Like I said, and the first time you guys asked me when I was sitting on that stage, I don't believe everything that everybody posts. It's a documentary. So take my responsibility.
It seems like
No apology.
Hear the word I apologize, or in your mind you said I didn't mean to cause any harm. Were you apologizing or were you not?
I didn't mean to cause any harm. I'm not the one that made the documentary.
What are the specific things in the documentary that you don't believe are true and that you don't believe represent your own cause?
I think some of the criticism of the Jewish faith in the community, for sure. Some points made in there that were unfortunate.
Kyrie, are you surprised that you did hurt people?
Surprised that I did hurt people?
Are you surprised that the actions, some of the things that you did, hurt people?
Yeah, I think I can ask a better question. It's just, where were you when I was a kid, figuring out that 300 million of my ancestors are buried in America?
See, again, hold on, bro. Again, this is a situation where I shouldn't apologize for hurting people because I'm hurt. Hurt people, and and so at the end of the day, and listen, let's face it. And I know people might not agree with my position, but Kyrie wasn't there for what Black people endured back then. He wasn't there. We heard about it, we know about it through the history books, but he's living a rather lavish life. And so that being said, I mean, listen, you can acknowledge what happened with us, but I think it's inhumane or unhuman, I think is the word, to know that you offended someone and you don't even feel like you should apologize. That's just my opinion. And I'm gonna tell you, from a person who does business, I think 95% of my revenue comes from white men. No shit. 95% of my revenue comes from white men owned and operated businesses. And I appreciate that because, first of all, they ain't even have to rock with me. They know they're doing business with a Black man. And so for me if I was to say something that's going to offend all white people, I would first of all, I would expect some backlash. And
yeah, for sure.
yeah. And I personally would apologize because I don't like hurting people. Hey, it reminds me of Scarface. When Scarface says, I never fucked anybody over in my life who didn't have it coming to them. When you lump a group of people in the same category,
yeah,
you're fucking people over who ain't had nothing to do with what you got going on. Talk to those people, talk to those people who offended you. I'm sure some niggas offend you. I'm sure some white people offend. I'm sure some Latinos offend. You know, we offend each other. That's what we do. Whole groups, nah. Whole groups of people collectively don't offend people. And so that's why I live by this motto: be good to good people. Be good to good people. And essentially I wanted to leave on that note. I don't know who Cap is, but I really would like to have a discussion with my man Cap or my girl Cap, whoever you are. Let's have a discussion.
Yeah, man.
Cam up. Don't Cam, calm down.
Yeah.
Calm down, Cam. It's trolling. It's trolling. It's a beautiful thing.
No, I mean, I just, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, I don't stand behind Kyrie in that sense. And I don't agree with him not apologizing. You taking responsibility is not you apologizing. That's you recognizing that what you did was wrong, right? But that's not you accepting, like, hey, I hurt this certain group of people. Let me apologize. And I agree with you saying, you know what I'm saying? If you got a problem with certain individuals, then yeah, you take that to them. Because me personally, I wouldn't say like I'm the only black man on my crew. I am one of 3 black men on the side of work that I work on. Everybody else is white. What I would be an idiot to say all white men are trash. You know what I'm saying? Like that to me, no. The people that I encounter that don't treat me like I'm supposed to be treated, like those are the people that you address.
Now, what percentage? Let me ask you on your job. What percentage of those white people or non-blacks would you say are trash? I'm just curious.
What percentage?
Yeah,
90%.
90% are trash.
90%.
Damn,
for sure.
Hey,
and that's just on the side that I work on.
Damn, that's pretty high. Well, first of all, let's add some context. You live in St. Louis, man. Is that racist? Is that a racist city?
It's a racist city.
What the hell?
And I don't think that they, you know what I'm saying. And to be fair, when I try to give people the benefit of the doubt, because sometimes ignorance, you know what I'm saying, the ignorance of like not knowing is an excuse for you. But a lot of these motherfuckers know what they know what they saying, they know how it comes off, and they'll still say it. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't care. You know? So it's like seeing that every day and being around that every day, it really shows you like, damn. Like even when somebody knows better, they still don't necessarily do better. You know what I'm saying?
Which I think this is the case in Kyrie Irving. Now I know somebody, Dr. Umar Johnson would probably call me a coon. Hey, you know better, man. Come on, man. Come on. Hey,
yeah,
I'm saying.
Yeah.
You know, okay, so listen, real quick, and then I yield the floor and we could do our closing statements. But I watched this video because I was on Sir Hale's channel, or maybe he came on ours, I don't remember. But I asked, what's the problem that people have with Jews? And so I actually looked it up. I had to Google it, YouTube. I had to see what the problem. And the only thing I could find is that people hate the fact that they're in power, and and essentially they're like a gang. but I wouldn't say they're a violent gang because I don't know any atrocity that they have committed on any group of people. Now I do know that they have maybe targeted individuals, but I don't know. Now, if someone can inform me on what have they done to groups of people that make them so bogus or so hated, I would like to know because
they do business based off of biblical principles,
and that's
that's
why
just what it is, dog.
we're gonna do. Actually, I'm gonna do I'm gonna do a reaction to Myron Golden's explanation of how the Jews came into power using biblical principles such as being a person of your word, paying your debts on time when you owe them, being a good steward of your own finances, being an upstanding citizen in your community, and these are all scripture based. Now, Cam, I'm not necessarily a Bible thumper, quote unquote. However, I do love the Bible. I think it's a very powerful, very powerful book and a great guide for life. So I don't really understand what the issue is with the Jews, but I've done business with them, and in fact, I've had experience to whereas they've shown me some things that they know about finance and business, and if I, how should I say? I will say some of my own people knew certain things and wouldn't give me the plug. Come on, man. So that's why I say be good to good people, because there's some evil people out here and selfish people of all walks of life, all race, color, creed. So that's my position on it. What do you have to say in closing?
In closing, honestly, man, I'm a ride off of what you said. Just be good to good people, man. I wouldn't treat a homeless man no better than I would a CEO of a company.
Mm-hmm.
You both get the same respect. So
facts. And the flip side of that, be good to good people, is, hey, when you have people out here who are doing wrong, treat them accordingly. If you know what I mean. Whatever the necessary measures you need to take those measurements, take those measures, because not every, me personally, I don't think everyone deserves love. That's just my opinion. Some people you need to be dealt with in a certain manner. However, when people are good, it doesn't necessarily matter to me what race, color, creed, sex.
Actually, I need to take your advice on that, because that's one thing about me. I always lead with love. And I try to give people the grace that I think that they deserve. But no, I'm gonna start dealing with people accordingly.
Yeah, I mean, and it's not necessarily about. I don't mean matching energy.
No.
I'll say this. Okay, case in point. You're on. Let's just say you're in the public somewhere, and a person tries to harm you. That is an evil person. So it is incumbent upon you to be evil back. Right back, goddamn. Yeah. You need to be in those cases. Now, someone just talking, being belligerent, not touching you. I'm not one to be offended by words. I could probably let that slide. Doesn't really matter to me as long as you don't touch me. Then or what have you. Then I might let that slide. But yeah, be good to good people, and hey, do unto others as you would like them do unto you, right? So that means if I smack a person, I would expect to get my ass whooped. That's it. I would expect, yeah. So, but anyhow, listen, bro, it's been another live episode of Mindfully Misunderstood Trending Topic Tuesdays. And hey, man, I'll give you, I know you're tired. You've been running like crazy for a while now, so
yeah,
I know you're gonna crash shortly.
Just a little bit.
Yeah. So, all right, brother. Hey. First of all, thank y'all for rocking with Mindfully Misunderstood. I am your host, Soul Charles the God,
and I'm Cam 2 Official.
And we appreciate y'all supporting us. Hit that like button. Please comment. And we don't do logic on. We don't do logic on YouTube. That's a fact. Too much logic. I know, man. And you know what? And that's the beautiful thing about real life experiences is that I don't necessarily. I know Sir Hale got some stories too. You can't necessarily listen to what media says or bigger people say. I got some beautiful experiences with many people, many different people. Hey, white, black, brown, gay, straight. For sure. I don't know, man. My energy attracts beautiful people. So that being said, Sir Hale, thank you for rocking. Born Hustlers, appreciate you. Harris Tribe, thank you. I even like Cap. Cap, thanks, Cap, for showing up and banging them comments out. I appreciate you. And that being said, we're gonna wrap it up.
Bang, 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 bang.
Yeah. Oh, hold up. My
bang.
My applause bang.
Bang.
All right, brother.
Cap,
have a good night.
Hey, Cap, you gonna have to cam up, bro. Stop hiding behind these comments, my boy.
No, yeah. It's all good. Trolls are everywhere. It's all good. Hey, what they say? Good. All publicity is good publicity. Good, bad. Hey, man. Hey, at least he's watching.
Hey,
I'm assuming it's a guy.
You gonna have to see me, brother.
No, we good. All right, Lega. Good night, y'all.
All right, y'all.
I'm gonna learn how to do an outro soon. Until then, this all y'all get is a hard stop. Lega.